Hello and welcome to a StreamLine tutorial. Today we're going to be doing an update on the LT2 and the LT3. So please, right now, look at the top of your box. Underneath the StreamLine logo, you'll see the model number. If yours is not the LT2 or LT3, do not follow this video, as it will make it so that you have to reset your box back to factory settings. This will not work for your box. Alright, so what we're going to do now is on the LT2 and LT3, we're going to open up the pack loader. You can see here I've got an old version of the pack installed, but if you look down at the bottom, you see disclaimer 16. That's what we're looking for right now. So if your disclaimer number is 16 or you do not have a disclaimer number, then you need this. If you have disclaimer 17, do not follow this video. You already have it done. So this is what we're doing, is we're upgrading to 17. So go ahead and press escape. Go over here to Task Cleaner and just launch the Task Cleaner. After that's done, go ahead and hit Settings. Go over to Apps. Go to App Loader and uninstall. If you do not have the app loader, don't worry, just keep up with us for the rest of this. So now you should not have the app loader here. So if everybody doesn't have app loader, then you're all right on track. Alright, so now we're going to go back out to the main menu. You can do that by hitting home or escape. And I'm going to be assuming that you know how to get around in here for the rest of this video, since you've had your box for a little while. So let's go ahead and now we'll go over to the pack loader again and go down to Update Pack Loader and hit Yes. We're going to hit Yes again. And now we're going to go down and install, and after the install, we're going to hit Open. Do not hit Done. So install, open, and then you need to do this. This is important. Hit Remember My Choice Forever and then Allow. Alright? Remember My Choice Forever and Allow. If you accidentally hit Done instead of hitting Open, go to My Apps and open up the app loader. It's there again. That's what we were just doing, was installing the new version of the app loader. And then go back and make sure that you hit Allow and Remember My Choice Forever. Alright, so everybody else, these menu options are going to be different between the LT2 and LT3. However, the main thing that we're focusing on is the pack loader and the system update. So don't worry if yours says OS 5 or OS 6 or whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Just make sure that you choose the pack loader and the system updates. Those are the only two that we want. Alright, so go ahead and hit Install. Hit Yes. Don't worry about the version, your version, and the server version. We're just going to hit Yes again. And again, don't worry about the versions. You can see that we're going from 16 point whatever, doesn't matter, to 17 point whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as it's going from 16 to 17, then we're good. So hit Yes. And then select Exit. As soon as you do that, it's going to ask you the same question that it asked you in the very beginning when you first got it. Do you want the standard pack or extended pack? The standard pack does not have adult content. The extended pack does. Hit OK. So make your selection and hit OK. It's going to close and it's going to open itself back up. So don't do anything here. Let it do it. Let's do its own thing. And now you will see that we have disclaimer 17 at the bottom. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit remove partial download and start over. We're going to hit yes. And now we're going to go up here and hit install pack. All right, so if you have the LT2, this is going to be a little bit different. You'll see that we now have a basic pack or not the basic pack. Not the basic pack is what everybody's used to with the links, the shortcuts to sports and news and live TV and all that stuff. If you choose to have the basic pack, the things that are not great for streaming are not on there. So you're not going to have the shortcuts for sports, news, or live TV. They'll still be in the video add-ons, but they're just not going to be on the shortcuts. So go ahead and choose whichever option you want, and then hit yes. And then you'll see that option again. Make sure you hit remember my choice forever and hit allow. And as always, this should take less than 5 minutes. If it takes over 5 minutes for the download portion, this is a two-part install, so the download portion, if this takes longer than 5 minutes, you're having internet problems. So if you expected that this was going to fix those problems and then you find out that you're taking longer than 5 minutes for the download, the problems are not with what's going on your box. It's not the version, it's something going on with your internet or your Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi routers usually start to degrade after a couple of years, so you may want to get a better one. There are also Wi-Fi routers now that are specified for streaming, and so those are definitely good options to look into. All you have to do is go to wherever your local computer supply provider is and look at the different routers that they offer, and you'll see some that are recommended for streaming. Do not use an N-class router. The N-class routers, those things cost like $30 or $40. With routers, you really do get what you pay for. So if you go and spend $30 or $40 on the N series, that's been obsolete for the past 3 or 4 years now. There's AC series out there, and it's tremendously better. So you can see now I'm doing the install portion. Don't worry about how long it takes for your install. Your install times can vary. It just depends on what you've got going on and if you hit the task cleaner. So go ahead and pause this video until yours gets to 100% complete. Once you're at 100% complete, go ahead and resume, and we'll finish this installation. Please do stick through to the end because things have changed. The end of this video, I'm going to show you what to do when you get into the new pack, which is important, so please make sure you stick around. Now we're at 100%, so we're complete here, so we're just going to go ahead and hit OK. And then we're going to go out to the Media Center right here and just click on that. And so things are just a little bit different now when you go into this for the first time after each pack load. It does have to initialize all of the different add-ons and do a security check. So this is after every new pack update. This is what happens. And this is just to make sure that all the files are legit and everything's secure and enable anything that's not working properly. So, and also initialize the updates. So now here we are, and the first thing that you want to do after a new pack load is just go over to the Music tab and click on Music. And then go ahead and press Escape and go back to Movies. Go down to one of the first two, doesn't really matter which one. Just hit OK on it, and you're going to see working, and there it is up at the top. The script is starting. So as soon as you see that, just go ahead and press Escape a couple of times and get back to the main menu here and just let it sit. So it's already going out there and running the security check, and So the thing's going to start freezing up and all of this while it's busy doing that. And then we're going to see another prompt that's going to come up here and tell us that it's complete. And once we see that, then it's going to start downloading the updates. So you can see the scroller at the bottom is already frozen. And so it's checking the feed there to make sure that that's legitimate. It's checking everything and just making sure that everything's good. And now you can see that there's updates happening in the top left. And so while that's happening, I'm just going to go ahead and point something out. So just to let you know how things work now in the movies section here in the Media Center, everything that is best for that particular topic, like movies, is going to be to the left. And as it goes to the right, it's not as good as the stuff that's to the left. So all these two are going to be the best ones, and then going forward down that list. By the way, Covenant is the new Exodus, and the old Exodus, if you still want to use that, it's in the videos section. So if you go to video add-ons, which I'll show you how to get to in just a minute, that's where that's located. Under TV shows, again, you have the same thing with the first few, but then obviously Deco Documentaries is going to be the best for watching documentaries, Food Network, TED Talks, etc. These items may change from month to month, so if you notice that something that you liked is no longer there, look in the same position that it used to be in, and more than likely there's something new that has taken its place. So when one thing goes bad, we'll replace it with something else. If it ends up coming back, we'll put it back in. But you can always find any of those types of things in the video add-ons section. Again, we're still waiting here, so go ahead and just stick with me for just a little bit here. I don't want to skip forward or anything and give you any unrealistic expectations, so we're just going to wait until that's done. If you go to the end here on the System tab, you'll find Video Add-ons, and you can go down this list and see everything that's actually installed. And so, for instance, if you wanted any of the adult content, that would be in here. And if you wanted Exodus, the old Exodus is still in here. However, like I said, Covenant has taken its place. But if you wanted to use Exodus, you can hit the letter C on a keyboard or the menu button on the remote. The letter C stands for context menu. And then you can add it to favorites, just like you can do with TV shows and movies and all that stuff. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and hit escape a couple of times. And the box is actually not responding right now because it's doing the updates. And I just heard a beep there. So it's it should be done with, yeah, really quickly. It flashed up there saying that the script is done and everything's enabled. And it's going out there and clearing all the cache and data. So now it's done. So now we can see that it's actually connected. And the weather is showing up there. If you go down here to the favorites star, you can see I added Exodus. And now that the weather is actually showing up there and everything's finished, if you wanted to set your weather, you can go to the weather, go to the left, go to settings, go to the right, go to settings again, go down to location 1, hit OK on that, and then type in your zip code. Click on Done, which is right there. And then it will show you the selection here. Make sure that you choose the one for your appropriate state and country. So I just hit enter on that. And now I can go down and hit OK and then escape a couple of times, and you can see that now at the top there, 95628, which is Fair Oaks, California, and so my weather has been updated. So now that all of the updates have been done and we're all configured and set, we go ahead and hit that power button right there. And just like on a computer, after you've done your updates, after you've installed any service packs or anything like that, you need to power the computer off and turn it back on, and that will apply the updates. That's how you save the settings. If you just exit out of here by hitting the home button and hit the task cleaner or anything like that, any favorites that you save or any updates may not be applied. And so always make sure that you exit by hitting that power button. It takes about 15 to 45 seconds for it to actually shut off. And this is just closing the media center. So after 15 to 45 seconds, it's going to put us back on the main launcher window and we can go back into it. Also keep in mind the LT2 and the LT3 both automatically turn themselves off, or actually put themselves into sleep mode after 12 hours of not being used. That can be changed if you like by just going into settings, and then you go to display and daydream, and when to sleep is set to 12 hours. You could change that to 1 hour of not being used or whatever you like. So that's easy to change. If you go into the media center now, we're going to be ready to use the box very quickly. There is one minor thing that's going to help you get into it faster, and that's doing the exact same thing that we did after the pack load. And that's just going to one of them, doesn't matter which one. So the first time I either chose Elysium or Exodus, I'm not sure which one. And you just click it, it says working. As soon as you see working, hit escape a couple of times, and then wait until you see the weather connect. So you can see the box is already frozen. It's doing the online update check and seeing if it can find any updates out there. And then we're going to get the weather coming up here and connecting in just a few seconds. Just because the weather doesn't connect, so say for instance there's a problem with Yahoo Weather Services, which is who we use for weather, doesn't mean that you can't use the box. So if something's going on with Yahoo, it may not connect to the weather, but it usually takes about a minute before you're ready to use it. So you can see there the weather just connected, and so now if I go back to Specto, everything's there. If I go to Elysium or Covenant or anything like that, everything's there. So that's how you know that it's connected. If it's not connected, those are not going to automatically populate, so it's just going to sit here and working. The one exception is Elysium. Elysium will always take a few seconds the first time that you open it, because it does have to go out and connect to the databases and establish that connection. But then after you go back into it, it's going to go right in. So that's it. I hope everything went well for you. If things did not, please follow the video again. Make sure you didn't miss anything. If you're still having issues, please go to StreamLineTV.com and click on the support tab and fill out the ticket. We do keep track of all of the trouble tickets so that we can make sure that we have video responses. It's always a lot easier to be able to watch what somebody's doing than it is to sit there and, oh, okay, what do you see on your screen? Oh, well, I see this, and oh, do you see that? And everybody ends up getting in different places. So it's just so much easier to be able to sit down at your time and be able to watch that video and follow along with it and get it done. I highly recommend watching the new updated How to Find Movies video. It's on our website. If you go to the main page of our site and just on the home page right below the what makes StreamLine the best picture is going to be a bunch of links to the most popular videos, and the one of the top 3 is going to be how do you find movies and TV shows. So there you go right there. How do you find movies and TV shows? You just click on that. And there's a few good videos on this page. The main thing is how do you find those movies? How do you find the TV shows? If it's not working in one, where do you go? all that kind of stuff is all covered in that. So highly recommend watching those. You can watch them here on the box. You can watch them from your computer, either way. And like I said, if you need any support, definitely make sure that you follow the simple troubleshooting steps. Turn the box off, turn it back on. Make sure that you reinstall the latest pack, even if you have the latest pack. And it's always good to do a speed test. If you're having buffering problems, if you're having any kind of issues connecting anything, do that speed test. It is required for any support now, because 90% of all problems that are not solved by turning off the box and installing the latest pack will be resolved by finding out what the problem is with the speed. So that's pretty much it. I hope everything's great for you, and have a great day. Happy streamlining.